Hi, welcome to the Dead Unicorn. I'm Howard, your game master, dungeon jammer, whatever you want to call it, for this game night. With me, as always, is Corey, the host of the channel. The Garth to my I can't remember his name, Mike Myers. I don't know, it's been
Wayne.
too long.
Wayne.
Wade, yes, Wade's World, the name of the show that I'm referencing.
Party on.
Uh, I have old timers disease. Um, Also, we have Sarah, Brenna. I almost said Tinker. We have Sarah and Keith and Brenna, and they all have characters. And I'm going to let them all talk about their characters, and then we'll get back to me, and I'll talk about the story as to what's happening, and then we'll get right into it. But also, before we do all of that, I know there are a couple things that Corey likes to say, like, about his channel, because he's the host and all. So I will toss it to Corey, and then he can talk about his character when he's done. Hey, Corey, do your thing.
Hey, first I'd like to thank our patrons scrolling in the upper right hand corner. They help keep this channel going, and they are wonderful. And we are doing a couple Patreon events right now. We do a Patreon event every month for club members and then we have a contest right now to make your own NPC, and we'll put it in one of the games. So if you want to make a Spelljammer NPC for this game, you can go ahead and do that as long as you are a night level patron. Those are the things that that are happening right now. That's about it. Go back to you, Howard.
No, talk about your character, then pass it to someone else.
Oh, okay. My character is Beetlejuice. He's the captain of the spelljamming ship, and he is a astral elf with a whip. And he's pretty dang great at his job. That's what I'm gonna say. He's got a Cockney accent. Hey, hey, Brenna, tell us about your character, Tink.
Um, Tinker is a fairy artificer with basically rampant ADHD. So, yeah. Uh, let's go to Keith.
Hi, I'm Keith. I'm playing Del Starwind. He's another astral elf. He's a druid, former member of the Astral Navy, who takes care or used to take care of the living plant ships that the Navy flies. But now he is our primary helmsperson on the Melina. Sarah, who you got?
All right, so I am playing Eudora Jen, who is a Herringon fighter, and she is kind of a fight first and ask questions later kind of person. She has a little bit of a temper, is quick to resolve things with violence, unfortunately. But she is part of the crew these days and is doing the pirate thing.
All for the pirate thing. All right. So I'm Howard. I am, as I said earlier, the dungeon jammer, whatever you want to call the person that leads a Spelljammer, campaign. And to expand on what they've been talking about, Ulwin Inlay is the woman that Eudora believes that she is cloned from, which is an important thing going forward and backwards if you're watching our older shows. In addition, the entire crew has been hired by a big floating blob with eyes called Zarathrax, which is a beholder. And Zarathrax is a scarred cyborg beholder in a mech suit, and he has hired the crew to aid him in his arcane energy experiments. They recently had an encounter with a bounty hunter that was on their ship posing as one of their crewmates, and that one was hired by Ulwin to capture Sarah's character, Eudora. They dealt with that. Other things that happened recently, there was a clown woman that had stowed away on their ship. They caught her. They dealt with that issue. I believe that's all the recent events. We won't recap the entire campaign here, but right now they are taking on board a beholder and his equipment to go into deep space to conduct experiments. They have been warned that the experiments themselves are dangerous. And then they brought up the fact that there are things that exist like space clowns and other issues that might come up, to which the beholder agreed that that's true. They asked if he expected it, and the beholder said, well, no, but I am hiring you. I'm hoping you can deal with all that if it happens. And that brings us up to the present. Is there anything y'all need to get done before you launch your ship and leave for deep space with this beholder to conduct strange energy experiments? Oh, one last recap, and just to make sure everybody's remembers, or most importantly, that Sarah remembers, she had a flash of memory because she's an amnesiac while dealing with this beholder, that she's met him before, but in her memories, brief as it was, she saw him as a whole person without the mech suit that apparently helps him move around. Normally beholders float, and he has 2 giant mech legs and a thing around him that moves him about. So anyway, back to you guys.
I am glad you reminded us of that, because I had forgotten all about that.
It's been over a month. We've had a lot of things come up. Yeah. Players weren't able to play. So, I figured I'd throw that in.
What sort of state is the ship in?
Oh, you froze. You say that again?
What sort of state is the ship in?
You are freshly rebuilt because you had a lot of modifications done. The ship is 100% whole and good to go. As far as I know, there should be nothing currently wrong with the ship. Okay, I mean, if there is, and it's in the plot, I'm not going to tell you if you don't already know.
And we do have our full crew now.
Yes. Your current crew, if you'd like a quick recap. You have, let's see, Brill Dog, the human fighter, turned out to be the changeling bounty hunter. So you don't have him anymore. You do have, let's see, Kihos, the Githyanki paladin, Sano, the human fighter, who was from the Karaturan treasure fleet, but y'all rescued him from that horrible ship where his life was being drained. Heskis, the autognome, Nomus, the autognome, Vazia Meninadel, the astral elf artificer, whose right hand and eye are both artificial. Ritklik, the Thrycreen fighter rogue with a lot of range specialization, who's one of your gunners. Galdar, the battle-raging dwarf from Toril, which is the planet beneath the Rock of Brawl. And I believe that is all the named guys. You also have 10 mooks, just for combat purposes. You have 10 guys swabbing your deck and doing the random chores until a fight breaks out. Then you have 10 mooks. Yeah. If you'd like to learn their names and get to know them, let me know, and I will get on Fantasy Name Generator and give them some names.
As long as we've got a crew to actually, man the sails and do the things.
That is your 10 mooks.
Wanted to double check that we actually had that now.
Yes. You hired them. They are there. I didn't write up. I wrote up the named ones, but I didn't want to write up an entire crew of like 14 extra people and role play them all because I don't hate myself.
That's a lot of work.
All right. Does that mean everybody's ready to go? Is there anything else you want to do before going into deep space? It's like going once, going twice.
As long as we're fully stocked up on all supplies, I'm good to go.
Fully stocked, yeah.
All right. I am willing to assume that you, especially since you said it, double checked and made sure you had enough supplies for the journey regarding rations and ammo.
Yep.
A reasonable amount of ammo, not unlimited. And is there anything else? You also currently have in your hold several crates of strange weaponry that you got from Space Clowns. You have half as much as you had before of wine, also that came from Space Clowns. But you know for a fact that Kihos the Paladin and I believe it was Galdar the dwarf were getting into it, and they were passing around the mooks, and they drank a good portion of that Space Clown wine.
You know, his drinking is becoming a real problem. We should maybe consider landing him.
You know what they say about Space Clown wine? It tastes funny.
It's true. All right.
So, Dell's ready to go. Is Tinker saying she's ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Is Eudora ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Beetlejuice.
Let's shove off.
Cool. I want 100%. Everybody said. So the things that I know for a fact you forgot, and I will laugh at you later for, your fault. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? All right. The beholder, Zerathrax. I have to keep looking up his name. Well, I gotta start naming beholders Bob. They need some easier names. One syllable, easy to go.
Okay, but for beholder, Bob isn't a noun; it's a verb.
You know, to be fair, the guys that wrote Spelljammer named the main beholder Luigi.
Did you really?
Yeah, Luigi is the one from
Luigi,
the bar.
who runs the Happy Beholder.
It's because his eye
That's great.
stalks are like.
I love the
pasta.
idea of Bob the Beholder. That's hilarious.
Bob
Yeah, but
the
I
Beholder.
was like, nah, let me look up some good beholder names. Want to get that authentic feel after you've been dealing with Luigi.
I just get Bob the Builder vibes. You know, Bob the Beholder. Can he
It's
see
beholder,
it?
but he's got
Thank
the,
you.
the
Bob the
cap on,
Beholder.
the
Yes, he
the
can.
Beholders,
construction hat.
beholders are so selfish and self-centered. I'm surprised there isn't one just named me.
I am he who is called I am. Which does sound pretty narcissistic, but I suppose if you are in fact God, you're allowed to be narcissistic. Is it narcissism if it's true? It really is about you.
I mean,
Just because
I've
you're
read the
really
Bible.
asking you to get- doesn't mean you're not paranoid.
Right. That's what I was thinking. It's exactly what I was thinking. Are you paranoid if they were really out to get you? Is it
Yes.
narcissism if it really is all about you?
Yes.
Am I really cheating on my wife just because I'm sleeping with other people? You know, things like that. I don't know. These are like moral.
Depends on if she's down with it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm single.
If it's legal. I mean,
by
they
the way,
can't-
ladies,
they don't throw you in jail for those kinds of things. So, I mean, it must be okay.
all right.
Right. So moving right along.
Sorry.
Moving right along.
Okay. I don't want to talk over other people because I know how this app is. There's no telling which one of us people are hearing.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go because she's just missing a little bit of description. I think she'll catch up.
Yep.
All right. As you're leaving the Rock of Brawl, as far as I can remember, and it has been over a month, y'all took care of everything. No one is currently chasing you. There are not guards rushing the pier, being like, "Come back, you bastards!"
Well, we still have that like
Not yet, anyway.
We still have that mind flayer situation. Though I'm
I
not
was
sure
just
what to-
thinking of that.
Yeah, but I'm not sure like what their deal is. They were following us in like a dinghy before.
Would you like to look?
Definitely, yeah.
Followed.
Let's get a spyglass on that.
All right, cool. Make your perception check. Unless you can make an honest, argument for a different skill. Perception seems the most appropriate. All right. With that, you look amongst the ships that are currently docked and the ships that are in the air around you, space, whatever. And you don't immediately see anyone taking any notice of you. Any ships suddenly, like de-docking. There's a word for it. I don't think it's de-docking.
Leaving their berth.
Yeah, that.
Disembark.
Give it to the Navy guy.
How about disembark?
Yeah, you don't see any of that.
No,
disembark is getting
what
off the
you
ship,
do
isn't
to
it?
get off of the boat.
Oh, you get off of
Yeah.
the boat.
That's when you're leaving the ship. You're
with your
disembarking.
legs.
That is what I was saying. Again, I don't know who
I
can
mean,
hear.
you don't have to use your legs. You can get tossed off, and that's the disembarking as well.
Well,
Also,
if you're a beholder, you don't have to use your legs unless you're Xenothrax.
when a ship leaves, we'll often say that it slips, or that it's leaves the wall, or that it's leaving.
All right. So yeah, you don't immediately see anything happening, but because you did roll a 16, as y'all are starting to like make your way out a good distance, as I believe Dell is the one who's usually using the helm to actually engage into astral travel, which is our light speed for this campaign. Just as that is about to happen, you do see one of those weird conch shell looking ships start to not disembark. Dang you for putting the wrong word in my head.
It slips its berth.
Yeah, that. It's separating from the dock. And you're like, ha! And you see it. You have this moment to say something if you'd like to not engage your hyperdrive equivalent and start flying through astral space.
I pointed out to everybody, I say, hey, they're doing that thing again. The illithids.
Do you want me to
based
pick up,
on
or do you want to
them doing that thing again, the illithids,
It's
what
been a
is
month.
Dell's reaction?
It's been a month since I had the accent. Let me see if I can't do it again. All right, here we go. Getting back into it. All right. The illithids, they're following us again in their little tiny boat. They think they're being all sneaky like.
Oh, it's not the tiny boat. It's the big boat.
Oh, the big boat's coming after us.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Do you
big
want me to
boat.
go, or do you want me to wait for them?
The ship.
The
Did you
the
say-
question
should you
is,
go now?
did you stop engaging? You were like about to engage. Did you stop?
Can we?
No.
No, I'm going to kick into hyperspace or whatever there.
Can we shake them? Yeah, let's try and shake them.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to
Bye-bye.
get weird because what you're using is your spell energy as you were flowing it into the helm so that
Yep.
you can travel the astral plane. So it's going to be an arcane roll.
Okay.
So if you can make an arcane check to basically shake them, they are at a higher. Basically, I'm giving them a higher thing to catch you because you have a head start.
Do you want an Arcana check, or do you want a vehicle's space check?
That's a fair. That is fair. You're not steering the boat through the rudders at this point, or you are actually using your mind and your mana. So I'm gonna say it's arcane at this point.
Okay.
If it
I just wanted
was
to see
actually
before I roll.
maneuvering the vehicle itself in combat, that would be the vehicle check. Okay.
Well,
They do have a higher roll to catch up. Like it's not as easy for them. So let's
yeah,
see what
but with a
happens
roll
here.
like that.
Did the dice change? Yeah, the layout has changed since I last played. Am I wrong? Does the things
No,
look a little different?
there was a notification that it.
Oh, okay. I'm like, am I crazy? I could be crazy. I don't know.
Well, yes, you are, but that might not have anything to do with what you're seeing
This.
here.
Okay. All right. So for this is going to be really for Corey, or I should say Beetlejuice, who is watching and has been the one that's been eyeballing them. If anybody else, not Dell, because he's manning the helm, and he's going. But if anyone else wants to say that they are looking or that they asked one of the NPCs to go look, let me know. But right now it's really just Beetlejuice who is watching. So you can make a perception check to see what's going on, and then I will give you more information.
All right. Make a perception check, you said?
Yes, sir.
Another perception check.
That's pretty good.
The same number.
All right. Tinker, are you joining in? Is that what that is?
Yes, with a total of 18.
Awesome. I was going to say you can either give him advantage or you can roll yourself, but it looks like you rolled yourself already. So I'm assuming that means you, upon hearing that conversation, flew up and took a look.
Yeah.
And what the two of you see, let's see. Yeah, you're close enough together. I'm going to give you the same information. That initially, as the ship begins to increase in speed, as it begins to enter into the astral sea, which is how spelljamming works now, you start seeing a combination of, just an endless silver sea beneath you, along with shapes and patterns that look like planets and asteroids, comets and stars, as well as thoughts, because you're traveling the astral sea. So you see things that are actually almost unique to things that Dell would think about, possibly more focused at the moment on getting to where he wants to go, like into the realm of space that he was told to head for by Zarathrax. I think I said Xanathrax earlier. I think I'm getting his name confused with the dude from the from the actual books. Xanathar, but Zarathrax, very different, totally different beholder. So you're seeing some of Dell's thoughts, maybe his intimate thoughts. I don't know. That's up to Keith. But you're seeing all that, and for a moment, that twisted shell nautiloid ship vanished, but then you both see it kind of reform as it has entered the astral sea as well, and it is on a similar trajectory. It looks like they are following you. I will allow, since you both made the roll separately, you can make separate arcane checks right now, and I'll give you more information. But there's no reason I see that your knowledge and what you're seeing would relate to each other, so I can't let you give one or the other advantage.
Got it.
Because I was going to say Tinker would be looking at it from more of a technical aspect.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to roll arcane? You want to roll something different?
Yeah.
Because I believe your arcane check is still pretty good.
So I got a 22 with
Okay.
her perspective on it.
With a 12, all I can say to you, Corey, or Beetlejuice, is that they're entering the astral plane and then following you. It seems like your understanding of astral travel, which is pretty decent because you are a space pirate of Spelljammer.
Yes.
So knowing that, it's unlikely that they would be able to easily follow you, and yet they have done it. So they might be really good at what they do, is about all I can tell you. But with a 22, Tinker, the fact that they were able to enter into the astral sea and be on a similar trajectory to you guys most likely means that they probably are headed in a similar direction. Like they had a clue as to where you were going, or by a weird happenstance, they have nothing to do with you and they're just going the same direction. Like that you left and they left at the same time and they were both going to the store, and that's all
The
that's
possibilities of
following
this
you.
are just astronomical otherwise.
But they knew you were headed to the store, is what you're thinking, because they're definitely going to the same store. And that store's on the other side of the astral plane in some pretty deep space that's near the ethereal planes where the elements are. There's specifically the negative realm, which is also known as the shadow plane. And all of that makes you think there's pretty much no chance this is an accident. They knew where you were going, or at least they suspected highly where you were going, and they've already confirmed it by seeing you. Because logically, if you can see them, they can probably see you.
Yeah.
That's what I'll give you with your 22 on Arcana.
I share this knowledge with the rest of the class. So I don't know if it's going to be worth shaking them if they already know where we're going.
All right. So all of you have that information now.
All right.
All right. Well, I go over to what's the beholder's name again?
Luigi?
Zerathrax.
Garethax. I say, hey, who knows where we're going? Did you tell everybody?
No, I haven't told anyone. I mean, I've told all of you and then Johnny Lodestar. Johnny Lodestar, I gave a briefer description of the science because he didn't grasp it.
Well, it seems like these mind flayers over here, they seem to know exactly where we're going.
Oh. I don't really care for those squid-headed people. They are the worst.
Maybe
So,
they've got
do you have a way to deal with them? Or ship? Some guns or something?
Well, what do you think?
I think that if they're following us, they probably have ill intent. I know that they eat your brains, and and those of you they like, they turn into more of them, which means they will, if you're not clear on it, they basically put like this thing on you that goes into your body, sometimes through the eye. Yeah. I mean, it's really
okay. I think that's quite enough there.
Oh, but there's more. They're really
awful. Please don't. Please don't.
No.
One of the few times when I will actually say I don't want to know something.
What's the saying? Loose lips sink ships. That's the thing. Somebody
and they have tentacles for mouths, so their mouths are very, very loose.
Disgusting. Can you sink a ship in space, though? I mean, how would that work?
Yeah, it just kind of scuttles and floats there forever.
If you break the ship apart, the air bubble around it breaks apart, and then everything dies. Unless they can breathe in space, which mind flayers cannot. There are some races that can. Very annoying.
Garethax, stop explaining to us.
You ask me.
I only asked you about the mind flayers. That was it.
Oh, wait. You haven't heard a word he said. I'm sorry.
Oh. He doesn't talk. Yeah. He's got a giant freaking mouth.
About that.
He's got a giant freaking mouth, but I am spared all of this.
You're the one who asked.
It's true. Just look at him.
Look at all of us. What's he saying? I can't hear telepathy.
You see his lips moving, and you're hearing.
I've really got to learn the whole.
Everybody else here's the other thing. Yes.
He's going on and on. He needs to stop ice-blading to us. All right. We're gonna have to fight these jokers.
You want me to double around behind them and so we can shoot them in the butt?
Let's get the crew together first and make sure they know what we're all up to.
Do I get to kill something? Good.
All right. We get the crew. We tell them we're about to engage these mind flayers here in wild space or wherever we are. Not sure where we are exactly in the middle of the astral sea.
We're in the astral sea, so we're in brain space.
Got it. And we're going to shoot them apart with our cannons first.
The Dwarven Battle Ranger Galdar's like, no, we need to find a way to get over there so we get in there. We can fight them. Yeah.
We first blast them with the big cannon so that it weakens them so that when you do get over there, you can chop them up even better.
Because if you get too close to them, then they can control your mind.
He doesn't have one. It's okay.
Geldar, these
A
jokers.
mind does not help one in battle. You have to shut that right off.
Look, these guys, their whole goal is to come aboard our ship and take it for some reason. So you're going to be seeing hand-to-hand combat no matter what.
Yeah.
I almost feel like you should about say slap it to a Slim Jim.
I was just going to say, he's starting to sound like we should call him Randy. He's definitely savage.
All right.
All right.
Theos is, of course, there, as well as you got right click. They're all ready for battle.
Yep. Everybody man
Yeah.
their station. Tink, I believe you have the main cannon there.
The great big gigantic one that we decided to have instead of a boarding ram.
That was the party choice, yes.
Yep.
And right now we're proving its usefulness.
Okay, I do not have the stats for that built in here. So
That's for the cannon?
I
Yeah.
think that main cannon was manned by both you and Adora, and you were both like loading it and making sure it was working well and firing it.
Was it Eudora or was it Vasia Menedel that was helping you?
Don't remember.
The other artificer?
Don't
um
remember.
yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
things
I'm
for
pretty sure it's
Bermuda.
the other artificer.
All right, so you have your big giant cannon, which is your forward-facing big old cannon. Then you have a starboard and a port, a left and a right weaponry that is a ballista and a big ballista, like a ship scale ballista, and a ship scale cannon, but it's not as big as your main cannon. If you want, you can put Vassian on one of the other cannons. That would be her specialty as well, so she can help with one of the cannons. And then you can
Okay.
put right click on the ballista,
I believe
which
yeah,
is what I
right click
think y'all
was our
did
ballistier.
before, but I'm not sure. Sorry.
I think right click was our main ballistier. Ballista person.
Yep.
I have not heard the
Never.
word ballastier, but if that's a real word, I'm going to totally go with it.
I made it a real word about 30 seconds ago.
Well,
It
there's
sounds good. I
There's
like
Yeah.
it.
there's a
was like,
musketeer.
God dang,
They
the Navy
use
teaches them
muskets,
all the
so
words.
a ballistier.
Like- We need to start adding Keith's words to the dictionary.
But as far as I know, Keith knows everything when it comes to the military. So
Right?
ballistier's a real thing. They have them on submarines for some reason.
A ballistier.
It's all real.
We'd buy anything you tell us. We're very gullible.
Good to
We're
know.
like, yeah, that's a thing. Keith said so.
My combat experience is completely limited to the movies I've watched.
If we see it in a movie, we assume we can do it in real life. That's just how it works.
That is how it works, yes.
Just one shot into a moon-sized, space station, and you can.
I saw this in a movie once, guys.
You know martial
So,
arts?
yeah.
Well, I practice what I see in martial arts movies.
I feel like I'm gonna edit right-click real quick and put that he is your ballastier.
Ballistier.
Yes. I love it.
I will, and of course, I'm the guy who, if anybody has problems or anything, I run to that station and help them out. Otherwise, I'm like giving orders and protecting the bridge. Because last time they came right up to the bridge and started attacking us instantly. It was like they were there like that.
Yeah.
Well, that is a good place to attack when you're attacking a ship, to be fair. No, just going straight for the lower decks just seems kind of pointless.
Unless
You,
you're
what are
just
you
gonna
guarding?
lose and Run.
The food and supplies? Kill him. That guy with the broom, kill him too.
Now we will have all of their decaffeinated instant coffee.
And their balloons, which, checking, does not fly.
Is that anything like a
I
float
don't
test?
think Tinker would allow decaf on her ship.
What is this heresy?
I mean, you
Abomination, get rid of it.
whenever they're
Throw it
going,
overboard.
whenever they're like attacking the Death Star, you know, they're on board an Imperial ship or what. There's never janitors. There's never like people sweeping or spraying the shiny floors and scrubbing them. There's no mopping. It's
There
just a
would
bunch
be
of.
droids for that in that world.
I don't even
That's
see
what the mouse
droids
droid
doing it.
does.
The
The mouse droid just goes around picking up dust and catching mice. That's
It's
what the mouse
basically a
droid
little
does.
Roomba.
That's what it is, exactly.
If it had like a brush or something under it, I would be totally on board with that. But there
Are
are
you
no
sure that it doesn't?
mouse droids relay
It has
messages
a
from place to
vacuum under
place.
it. It sucks it up.
Just
In
tape
the
a knife to the
fandom,
top of
they're
it. And then you...
On the fandom wiki, they are listed as, because I got curious here recently while watching The Mandalorian, and they are their purposes are to deliver messages, do minor repairs, and clean up.
I've never seen them
Oh
clean
my
up.
gosh, I
have
was
seen them
right
do
and I was
messaging,
lying.
and I
I
have
was
seen them do
making
minor
stuff up.
repairs. But I've never
You were just
seen them
making
like
stuff up.
two little arms with a dustpan and a broom come out and just and then
No, I
and
think
then
they just
zoom away.
Roomba it up, dude.
Huh?
I really did. I was really picturing them just Roombaing it up. Just Roomba, you know?
Like a little hose comes out of them.
Seems reasonable.
Have you seen a Roomba? There's no hose. It sucks it up in the middle,
But
underneath.
they have little brushes underneath. Mouse droids stand at least a couple, like they stand like an inch off the ground. You can see underneath a mouse droid.
But
There's
they've got the
nothing
little
under
thingy
there.
that comes
But
out.
but mouse droids really suck. What you didn't
That's
understand.
that's what I'm saying. Like a little hose comes out of them and like.
Are you guys really arguing about how mouse droids work?
Yes.
This is very important
Look,
because I actually
what-
Oh no,
love mouse droids.
Sarah, you
Look,
didn't know?
Sarah,
Sarah and I are nerds.
one day we thought we knew how R2D2 worked, and then one day jet engines popped out of that guy and he flew across the screen. Okay.
And it was weird because it was in the
possible.
past. It
Anything's
happened in the
possible.
past, and then he forgot how to do it in the future.
Well, after all the crap he's been through, do you blame him for having some memory loss?
Because, you know, in the future, that would have been really handy in the swamps of Dagobah
Yeah.
when he was, you know, trapped in this swamp.
Instead of
Do it once and then never again.
falling off and going around in the swamp, he could have just jet engined himself to the shore and dropped down.
And never have been eaten by a weird swamp monster.
Exactly.
All right, have we tangented enough, or should we go into some other sci-fi movies? Anyone seen Alien? I love those movies.
No janitors in that either.
But what's the point of taking a janitor to a planet full of things that are going to eat you?
Bait.
The
Okay,
poor
we're
janitor,
fine,
man. He
guys.
cleans up your shit. Hasn't he done enough?
That's very classist, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I thought better of you, Keith.
Dell is
That's
the one
why
who
we
gives
don't
them his
bother
bait,
to
not
take janitors
Keith.
when we just do our own cleaning stations.
That's what it is. All of the enlisted guys that'll have to clean up after themselves.
I think they do
Always
actually. That's a real thing.
All the stormtroopers are like mopping the floors.
I mean, I've heard the tales of like, you know, people like bouncing a quarter off your sheets and expecting it to like bounce or whatever. And if that's all true and that's how they inspect your stuff, then yeah, I suppose you'd be pretty tidy people. I don't know. I'm not going to the
But
military.
cleaning stations is literally a thing that happens every day on ship. And that's where you take a set period of time and everybody cleans their section.
Makes sense to me.
You know, there's that one guy who's like, I work hard not to make a mess, and I'm working with you, and you made a mess. Time is up. You need to clean this before we're done. I'm not cleaning your mess, Private Jerkhead.
I mean, that's what.
So anyway,
that's what the sergeant does. It gets on the people's cases when they don't do the job that they're supposed to do.
Hey, Jerkhead is a family name. All right.
How many assholes do we have on this ship?
All right. You saw the people
this
coming after you.
nautiloid.
Coming after you. You man your stations. Are you just going to attack it?
Yeah.
Just tell me if you are. Roll your initiative. I'll roll my initiative, and we'll go straight into combat.
I would wait until they fire first.
So
probably.
No. Why would we?
Or, am I slipping in behind him, or what am I doing here, Captain?
Yeah, that was the plan. I like that plan.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna basically, maneuver myself so that I'm behind them instead of in front. What do you need me to roll? For
that would actually be your vehicle roll.
All right.
At this point, we are doing some vehicular maneuvering with
My
your
days
very
are
average
fascinating.
roll.
It needs to be known. My dice hate me.
You're
You must be using the ones I was using last time.
What was that, Sarah?
I said you must be using the ones I was using last time.
The virtual dice always seem to hate me, so.
Have you tried changing the color? Like you're getting another set of dice.
The problem is you
you
can't.
are-
color, so
you are able to maneuver behind them.
excellent.
They are caught off guard. They were like, "Oh my God, they saw us. They are behind us now. What have we done?" Is what you assume because you have no idea what's going on their ship. But you are able to maneuver behind them.
Boom.
Or did they let you maneuver behind them?
Doesn't matter.
That's the
'cause
problem without a
either way,
DM
behind
screen.
them, and we have a great big gun.
With a DM screen, I could say you maneuver behind them, but you wouldn't know that they rolled a 3, and I can let you wonder, did they let that happen? But now you're like, they couldn't have stopped me.
You successfully shot them, or did they let you shoot them? Now they have you
way.
just right where you want them, right? Or something like that.
All right,
Either
you
way,
have
they
maneuvered
blew a
behind
hole,
them.
and I'm happy.
Would you all like to roll initiative? Are we going into combat, or are we just maneuvering around and being like, my ship's bigger
I've
than
already
your
rolled
ship?
initiative.
All right, initiative it is.
Oh, hang on. Let me bring up the initiative counter, then let you roll initiative. I said, hang on. No one's listening.
Nope, nobody's.
Well, if we're doing the initiative tracker, we have to assign our tokens to that. That's a
Fine. I'll just bring up Notepad like I used to do and write down your initiatives like I used to do.
see if you want to send the
Or we
result
could
of this
scroll
roll to the
again.
turn
Fault for
tracker.
showing me how useful the initiative tracker was.
You wanted to send the result of this roll to the turn tracker, but no valid token was selected. So you have to have a
Because I didn't get to the part where I said actually roll initiative. Y'all just started rolling. I asked you what you were gonna do.
You said
And
roll
you just
initiative a
like-
while ago. You did.
Okay, what if we just roll
Bring it
again?
up and
Uh,
we'll roll again.
You don't need to roll again. Just hang on. I got truly evil here at 9.
Being stubborn, I see.
I got Dell at 8. Tinker at 13. And Eudora at 25. Wow.
Yeah.
The one who said, let's roll again, is the one who should not have said that.
I don't want to go first. I don't know what we're
Oh,
doing
really?
yet.
Firing up on the illithid ship.
It's just
I know.
I was so proud of you for like being like, I know that I rolled super well, but I feel we should roll again. No, you're like, no.
I'm not ready.
All right.
You may not be ready, but your character is.
I'm going to make 2 rolls here. There are NPCs on your ship and NPCs on another ship.
shoot them.
Wow, the NPCs on your ship suck butts. The other guys aren't great either. They're all going last, but your guys are dead last. All right. So starting with Eudora, they have pulled around and gotten behind the nautiloid. Do you know what a nautiloid is? It's like a a big twisted snail shell ship with tentacles coming forward. It is the ship of mind flayers.
Lovely.
It's fairly large. It is a little smaller than your ship because y'all's ship is very large. Because your ship was initially a transport ship with a forge drive, which meant that there was a huge blacksmithing area in it for dwarves to create things to make it go. And then on top of that, it had storage. So your ship is big, even though it's been remodeled and has a regular helm now. But their ship is almost as big. And I'm guessing you don't, because you're an amnesiac, have no idea what kind of weaponry a nautiloid has. But you are behind a shell with tentacles that are going forward. So maybe if it does have weaponry, maybe it's not pointed at you right now. You're not sure. But it is you going first. You didn't man a weapon to my knowledge. You could leap across, but you aren't that close. So it would be a little bit of space swimming and hoping to get there in time before your air ran out. So probably not that method. What do you want to do?
If she's a clone, does that mean that it's not so much amnesia as she just didn't know?
If she doesn't know what kind of weaponry is on nautiloid, it could be an amnesia thing, or the other. Honestly, she might never have known, or she might have used to know but not know now. And that's one of those things that she'll find out one day.
Okay, well, I have been yelled at for being, a murder hobo and shooting first and asking questions later. So I think can I pull a weapon and hold my action, not hold my action, but pull a weapon and wait to use it?
You have to state what circumstance you like to use it. Like I see an enemy within range, I'm going to throw it at him if he looks hostile. That would be fine, or shoot it at him, whatever your weapon is. Dell, real quick, because they were behind you and you flipped around behind them and you made your roll successfully, it was no problem for you to do it. How close did you want to be? I'll allow you to get as close as, say, 90 feet, which for a ship is pretty close. I realize for walking, it's not.
Yeah.
90 feet?
90 to 100 feet, yeah.
All right, you are. I'm going to say 90 because I need to put an actual number out there because it affects people's movement.
Basically, yeah, I wanted to get in about as close as I could so that we could really get the drop on them and not miss.
All right, you are 90 feet away. You have pulled a weapon that has a range on it, I assume. What weapon did you pull?
I have a question. So if I'm understanding this correctly, even though we're in the ship, there is a way that we can fire out of the ship at them, right?
Yeah, you have like a deck that you can stand on, like an old style pirate ship. There's a place that's open to open air.
So if I pull a ranged weapon that can cover 90 feet, then I'm good.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so then let me see what I have here.
You could shoot them with your longbow or whatever.
I said 90 feet is the closest you can get with the roll that you made, but if you'd like to be further back, that's up to you. But you said closest, so.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what the range is on these. I don't remember. Is there a way to check that?
Which weapon are you talking about?
Oh, on the weapons I have on my character sheet.
It should be on there, but I'll pull your character up and have a look real quick. Hang on. It's loading slowly, slowly.
I have a light crossbow and I have a longbow.
Yeah, a crossbow
Your
will
longbow
definitely,
is-
longbow and crossbow will both cover that.
Okay, so then I will pull the crossbow out and use that.
Okay. They have the same attack bonus. I had not mean to roll it. I just meant to look at it. Sorry, ignore that. But now that I've opened it, I can tell you that the range on it, let's see, hang on, is 80, but at 90 feet, you are at disadvantage. Within 80 feet, you are at normal. So
Longbow has better range.
But
Then
with the
I-
longbow, I think at 90, let me double check, but I think at 90, you're still good. Yeah, you're up to 150. So you might want the longbow.
Yeah, okay, then I will pull the longbow out. That's what I was trying to figure out. I couldn't remember which one had the better range. All right, yes, longbow it is.
All right, you whip out the longbow, you've knocked an arrow, and you have not fired it. You are waiting for them to do what exactly? Look hostile?
I guess
Show a squiddy face so you can pop an arrow in it. What do you have to set the reason you fire, but before we move on to the next person in the initiative.
okay, I will say that I will wait for them to attack us or fire on us, and so then I will shoot.
Well, all right. That was Eudora. Next in the initiative is Tinker at 13.
Okay. I would like to fire, but I don't know any of the stats on that. I don't have it on my
All right. You're the one of the cannons, right?
She's on the big cannon.
Yeah.
You're on the big cannon. All right. That's on me. Let me find my stats for the big cannon.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, that is unfortunately part of the game, is that you are in a ship with its own stats and craziness. And I have to be able to find those things in theory. Just a second. All right, here it is. The stats on the giant cannon. You're on the giant one, the main one, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. It has an armor class of 19, 250 hit points, blah, blah, blah. It is a +6 to hit, with a range of 600 within normal range, and then up to 2,400 at disadvantage. Single target, and it does 16 d10.
16 d10.
But also, was it preloaded? I don't remember anyone saying that they loaded the cannon beforehand.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, because when we started to get ready to do this,
To do the, as in leave port, or when combat started?
when we talked about, they're following us. Oh, should I get in behind them? That was when we decided to.
No, we had an entire conversation when I said, let's get everybody on their station and get the stations ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will say one round has passed and it is loaded. You can only fire every other round. Normally it takes you several rounds, but it's been modified by Nomus and Heskis. So you can fire every other round, and this is the other round technically. So
Yes.
you can fire it. Are you opening fire on this ship that has not yet attacked you?
Tinker.
I think
Sorry,
it
I
is.
was-
All right.
She answered
It
with
wasn't
a
me
die
this
roll.
time.
It was not.
Sorry, I was trying to encode it and I don't know what I screwed up there, and I kept trying to fix it and I kept clicking it for my attack rolls. I'm sorry.
All right. So you had a +6, and I'm not sure what you were rolling. So either one of those numbers would have hit 19 or 24. I mean, it's not like it's hard to hit the broadside of a ship or even the backside of a ship.
Yeah.
All right. And I believe it is 16d10. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I just said. Yeah, go ahead and roll your.
That's part of the thing that I have to fix, and I'm like, I'm not sure which one I'm getting.
Feel free to roll your giant pile of dice at these people. Take that, guys who didn't attack me yet.
They're evil.
I'll teach you not to attack faster.
They already know how to do that.
Apparently. Yeah, apparently. All right, 55 points of damage. Boom. All right.
Ow.
Those
a
are
big
D6s.
opening appears in
Those
the
are
back of the
D6s.
shell.
I thought you said D10s.
I did say D10s. Oh, she rolled sixes.
Oh. I'm sorry.
16 D10s.
Yeah, it's a big old cannon.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just an opportunity now to do even more.
That is significantly more.
Yes. And my computer blooped at me suddenly, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's it doing?
Boom! The back of that shell explodes. Shell parts going everywhere. There is like a gooey filling that you were unaware that would be in there, but it's definitely in there.
It probably does not look tasty.
Lots of also like spider webbing, cracks coming across from the hole that has appeared. You have done significant damage to this shell ship in front of you on your turn. Do you have any bonus actions or movement or anything you'd like to take before we move on to the next person?
She'd just be getting it ready for the next shot.
Sounds good. Well, you can't. That's going to be what you're doing next round.
Yeah.
Because loading is a full. Yeah.
You
just go straight into working on the reloading. Gotcha. All right. Beetlejuice at 9, you're next.
All right. Who hasn't gone?
Most of you.
I will assist Keith with piloting. I will make sure he has advantage on his next check.
Okay. You grant him the help action. Do you have any bonus actions or move or anything you want to do? Or
I'll stay on the bridge.
Weapon interaction. All right.
I have my shield in my hand.
Cool. All right. Del, you are next.
I'm entirely on ship maneuvers, so it's just a matter of get us a little bit closer so that we can.
They are 90 feet away. You can completely close distance if you'd like.
No,
you could perform a ram maneuver, but you don't actually have a ram on the front of your ship. You have a cannon. So you take equal damage.
I'm going to move us to about 60 feet and keep us at about that.
All right, so just 30 feet up then.
Yep.
But also matching speed, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So go ahead and make your vehicle roll. It's not terribly difficult. And you have advantage. Which turned out to be helpful, I imagine.
I imagine so. I'll just roll it a second time here and see what we get.
There you go. All right, you close in, you measure the distance perfectly. There's a moment where you realize you're going too fast, and he's like right next to you, going, slow it up. Yeah, perfect. And y'all sail in. And after that, it is time for them to go. They have taken a lot of damage. Trying to decide if try and get away or try and turn and fight. Because we've taken almost 100 damage to the backside of our ship.
That's what she said.
Pretty severe damage.
And without any lube, even.
All right. Because we are in 3D space, they're gonna just like angle down into the left, just woof, and try and advance out of there by thinking about somewhere completely different. Let's see.
If they're only maneuvering, I'm going to float. If they're actually completely bamfing out, I'll let them go.
Okay. Wow. They are trying to leave. Well, actually, you're not entirely sure with those two shitty rolls. 2 and a 1.
Wow.
Like, are they maneuvering? Are they leaving? They've turned to they went this way. They started to go. You feel like you could follow them if you want. I will say that, but you stated your intention is not. But they are trying to leave, and for some reason or another that you don't know what's going on their ship, they do have advantage to just get the hell out. But even then, I rolled a 2 and a 1. I rolled some absolute garbage.
If they're doing that bad of a job, then that means that they're reading as just maneuvering, and I'm following. And keeping distance where it's at.
Unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, I need to run away for a sec, and I just now realized I never actually plugged the charger into my laptop. So give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
So, squid killing. Who wants calamari?
Yeah, I'm like,
I
why?
was just about to say.
Why let them go? They're evil. Let's board them and kill them to a man. I mean,
yeah, if they dropped out of astral space or whatever, and then I would let them go. I'm not going to follow them there. But if all they're doing is maneuvering around, and in a way that I can chase, I'm going to chase them. I want to blow them out of space.
Yeah, then we wouldn't have to worry about them anymore. We've been worrying about them for a while now, and I would like to be relieved of this piece of stress.
Yes.
Right.
And it's
I mean, they're basically the Borg of Spelljammer space. So
it's not like they're good people with, we're just having a misunderstanding in space and whatnot.
No, they eat sentient creatures' brains.
Yeah.
There is nothing positive about this.
Agree.
There's no way to spin that as misunderstood.
But I mean, if they're going after brains, why would they go after us?
Haha.
Says the smartest one in the group.
Well, she would know.
But she's got a little brain comparatively.
It's like a
That's barely
delicacy.
a snack.
It's small but delicious.
I mean, I am a snack, but
Look, the smoother your brain is, the more appetizing it looks, okay?
Yeah, nobody wants to be eating them raisin brains. They want a good solid grape.
Yeah, gross.
All right. So I'm plugged in now, and hopefully my laptop does not die. So I used to have a desktop like hooked up right here, but my desktop died about a month ago or 2 ago. So
no.
All right. So yeah, let's follow them and blow them out of the astral.
So you are following and going to keep shooting. That's what I need to know. Yeah, I
It's
rolled
only-
absolute garbage. That was
It's only if
impressive
they
garbage.
basically completely drop out of the astral that I'm letting them go.
They didn't make the roll to pilot out of the astral. I mean, like, those were some absolute garbage rolls, like amazingly
I like
garbage.
I like it when the bad guys have garbage rolls.
Or they're plotting something.
Yes.
Just saying.
That's why we got to keep attacking them. You're absolutely right, Howard. That's why we got to keep attacking. They're plotting something. We've got to stop them before they
want you to attack. You're just
The
falling into
Illusids
their
are
traps.
basically the Borg of Spelljammer space. So let's destroy them.
Let's do it.
Without the redeeming features.
Let's not stop at the last second and pull a freaking, Picard. Oh, it would be wrong to genocide them.
Except that, unlike the Borg, when they take over a creature and transform it into one of them, it's permanent, and there's no recovering the original being.
Every time the Federation almost pulls off a genocide, they never have the follow through, and it kicks them in the butt every single time. It's like we merely contemplated doing a genocide, but we didn't. We did the right thing. No, a couple episodes later, Lore's taken them all over now because you did not do a genocide. Did you not complete your genocide of the founders? Okay, that's cool. Now they're taking over the Federation from the inside using a brain juice from the Borg and Picard's son. That's a thing. Like, every time, just follow through with your genocide. Just do it.
All right. So,
anyway,
at this point, right click is going to fire the ballista at them because that appears to be what we're doing.
Yeah.
He gets to add his dex. He knows what he's doing.
Does he though?
He rolled garbage but still hit because he has a plus 11 to hit.
Wow.
It's great to have a plus 11 is all I'm saying.
Yes, it is.
All right, and the ballista damage is it's on here somewhere. And 3d10. Oh, plus his dex. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Try this. Ignore that. 3d10. That's better. It's way better. All right. So he blows another 25-point hole into it with the big old ballista shot. Oh,
jeez.
As that arrow, that ridiculously sized spear arrow goes shooting through it. And then your other cannoneer will fire. And because she's in her place of specialty, she also, as it works out, has a plus 11 to hit.
Excellent.
Giving people jobs that match their skills is a good plan.
Funny how that works.
If only real life companies and organizations could keep that in mind.
Right? So 26 hits.
What are you talking about? Our system of nepotism, constant nepotism, seems to be working just fine.
Yeah, for those for a couple of specific individuals, maybe.
So I think it looks like the only difference between using the ballista and using the smaller cannon is whether it's bludgeoning or piercing. Here's her shot. Oh, I should have made that 3. Hang on. And then also added her intelligence. There we go. There we go. Wow. Holy crap. That was a really good roll for 3d10.
Nice.
All right. So
yeah,
the backside of the shell here on this nautiloid is just mostly disintegrated. Shell pieces are just kind of floating loose in space, rapidly away from this thing. You see a lot of just like fleshy goo that is up inside the nautiloid, as they are partially living ships. They're not fully living. They're not. I don't know what y'all's knowledge is based on your character backgrounds offhand, but there's a lot of fleshy bits inside these things, and you can see the fleshy bits, and they're gross.
They're filled with delicious
and
goo.
you can see through some holes in the fleshy bits, and you see a couple of, I'm going to say, people scrambling. You can't tell from where you are, 90 or 60 feet away now, for sure. But they look like they're probably, mind flayers, like scrambling to do something inside there. And that is where they are. That is everybody. We're back to Eudora. Hey,
right.
Eudora, before we hit 25 in the new round, they are within range, but they're never actually actively looking hostile. So that is why I'm not going to say that your thing went off. They never looked at you in any hostile way.
That's fine.
Okay. So it's a new round. It is your action.
Well, everybody else is firing. They can't say I started it this time, so I will go ahead and shoot.
That sounds
Shoot a
pretty fair.
person.
But it can
Shoot one
blame
of the.
me.
Shoot. Well, now that we've opened it up, you can shoot some of the crew members inside.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like, when we don't have a meeting, she charges right in. When we have a meeting and we say we're going to attack them specifically, she's like, "Oh, I couldn't. Oh, don't."
I want to be the first one this time.
We all talked about this. You're free to. It's okay.
She's like, I'm trying to cut back, okay?
I understand. I'm not going to give you any gripe about it.
It's like telling an alcoholic, it's okay, the beer is free.
It's just one drink.
Look.
You can have a little violence this time as a treat, okay?
I didn't want to interrupt you and tell you how to play your character or anything like that. We all have agency in our own ways.
You're just gonna
feel like Corey is
what I do
lying.
afterwards.
Corey totally wanted to interrupt you and tell you how to play your character, but he held back.
That's exactly what happened. Yes.
So he could mock me later about it.
For self-restraint.
Alrighty. What are my options in terms of crew members inside that I can hit?
You can see
Right.
two mind flayers. You're pretty sure they're
All right.
mind flayers, even from you're only 60 feet away. Their heads are definitely more squid-like than human-like. You could totally take your shot, and if you have the ability to fire twice, you could probably shoot both of them.
Okay. I will aim for one of the mind flayers then.
All right, go for it. The natural 20 just barely hits.
Oh my god, double damage. Oh, it's just a longbow. It's just
Good. Yeah, roll damage. There you go.
All right, and I'm for my second one. I'm gonna aim for the same guy.
All right, so is that 7 plus 8, so a total of 15 to the first dude? All right.
and
All
roll
right,
the
natural
damage.
1, you miss.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Either does it perfect or F's up completely. Like the first
Did
one,
I
you got
shoot
like
myself?
so overconfident at that first shot. You're like, I'm amazing. I'm not even gonna look. And you do that, and you launch that second arrow right into the side of your own ship. I mean, it doesn't like shatter the ship or anything, but it's definitely in the side of the ship, like everybody can see it.
I'm gonna get mocked for it later, I'm sure. But at least I didn't like shoot myself in the foot or anything. You know, it could have been worse.
You're lucky
true.
rabbit's feet are fine.
They continue to be lucky.
But yes, I was like, look at me, I'm so badass.
Then you're like, better the ship than me, and Tinker's like,
My ship. My
My
baby.
ship
Heal
stopped
you.
blowing holes in my ship.
My
We can
precious.
heal you, no problem.
She's like, if I put a hole on their ship, I have to put one on our ship. It's only fair.
Speaking of Tinker,
Time for me to put another hole in theirs.
Yes.
you can load.
No, this round I think is still loading up.
Yeah, you can spend the
that's
whole
right,
round
yes.
loading.
Sorry.
I assume you want to load because you like that big old boom next round.
Yes, I was just really looking forward to the next time I got to blow another hole in it.
Alrighty then. Okay. Then after Tinker is Beetlejuice.
Oh, hey. It worked out so well last time. I'm gonna give the help action to Keith and make sure he gets that ship exactly where he needs to go. I will assist him in his piloting.
Okay.
I will not move. I do not have a weapon interact. I do not have a bonus action.
Alrighty then.
Keeping my powder dry.
Dell.
Same thing, just maintaining speed and distance, following them as needed.
You're staying at 60 feet. You don't want to just pull up closer, give people.
I'd rather shoot
distance.
them and destroy their ship before we get in close, because once we're close, then they can start eating brains, and we don't have enough crew to afford that.
We don't have enough brains to go around.
As you say that, the more brainless of your crew, not naming any particular dwarven battle ragers offhand, are like, "You son of a bitch, let's get closer. I'm ready."
Patience.
I don't have. I'm not a doctor. All right. So, after you, it is time for them to figure out what they're going to do to either fight back or end this. All right. All right. So, the one that was wounded is going to turn, and he's going to face y'all and spread his arms. And as he does, a cloud begins to erupt from the back of the nautiloid, creating a fog bank that you can no longer see the back of the nautiloid in. Although you have an idea, it's probably right in front of you. You can no longer see it. Gives everybody disadvantage. And what happens after that, you're not sure, because let's be honest, you can't see. But I still need to roll because we are in combat. So, to be fair, I will roll the stupid dice. Stupid dice. Let me turn that off. Okay. Natural 20. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. You see a fog bank.
Okay.
You didn't close distance. So as far as you see is a fog bank.
But here's the funny thing. They created a fog bank in space. That fog bank will presumably continue to shroud them. That means that if I keep following the fog bank,
I see what you're thinking. What is your
I feel
passive
like there are
arcane
random
knowledge?
fog banks in space.
What is your passive arcana? Basically, your arcana bonus plus 10.
it would be 14.
And that is a spell that I think that druids can cast, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
So
when you make a fog, it doesn't move unless you tell it to.
But if it's centered on their ship in such a way as to obscure them, then they're going to want to have it centered
Okay,
on
I'm
them.
just saying you
Somewhere
can
in that
also,
cloud.
with your passive knowledge, you're also aware that you could just leave it in place.
So
True.
here's the thing. There's the spirit of the rule, and then there's the actual, like, if you want to get technical. If if you cast like enshrouding fog or something, it stays on a certain hex or a certain square and goes around that square. So if the ship moves, then he gets out of it. But if you're like on a ship fighting and the ship is moving and you do the fog will stay on that one area. So it should move with the ship because it's connected to the square that's connected to the ship. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of these weird technical things. Because I've had fights on ships and we're like, oh, yeah, that thing is on that hex, but it moves with it because the ship is moving.
I mean, honestly, the easiest thing in the world is if the fog bank moves, I follow it. If it doesn't, then I'm watching for the other ship coming out of it.
Although, since we're dealing with squid faces and nautiloids, are you sure it's not like an ink effect left behind?
You know, I kind of wish, now that you said it, that I had thought to say it was an ink effect just to, like, you know, reskin it and make it more gross.
Yeah.
But I didn't think of it. Although, if everybody's cool with it, yeah, it's ink.
Yeah,
That's
makes
way
sense to
cooler.
me.
You see ink. Thanks, Brenna.
You're welcome.
Keep it themed appropriately.
But that is the spell. And that is why Dell didn't realize immediately that the ink wouldn't follow the ship. Because it's not the same spell. He was thinking of another spell.
Basically, though, I'm watching for either the fog bank or ink bank to move or for a ship to come out of it.
Okay. I'm going to say that y'all are going to figure this out pretty quick because it goes to other, which right now is right click and your cannoneer reloading. And then Eudora, you can't see anything. I don't think you're going to leap through a bank of ink onto something at disadvantage. I'd hope not, but you can if you like to try. But essentially, I think what y'all are going to figure out is that they basically create a smoke screen and left because they took a S ton of damage, like just crazy damage in like a round of combat, and they were like, "And peace. This is not working out." They saw us, they destroyed us. We got to go.
Well, hopefully they'll have to stay in repairs for like a long time, repairing
all the
ship.
way up until they are cool to re-enter the plot and make another thing happen.
Yeah.
That's how long repairs take. I'm going to give y'all a moment to discuss what you want to do next. I really need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, if they make it away and get away, so be it. The threat is removed.
The way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the ink spot spreads. And if they don't, then we shoot them some more.
Sounds good to me.
You know, either way, the threat is removed, at least short term.
Makes sense.
That was what we were hired to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
hopefully they've learned their lesson and they know that we can beat them. Which means
and harsh.
Which means if they come after us again, they're probably going to be either way sneakier about it, or they're going to have something way more powerful, or they'll be ready for us somehow next time, I'm sure.
I'm sure, but we'll deal with that then.
Because if I attack somebody and didn't win, next time I attack them, you'd be damn sure that we're going to have some sort of edge. Remember that time that all those mechanical tree cutter things kicked our ass, and we left, and then we came back because we had better plans and we had some magical weapons, and it went way better the next time. Oh, and we got allies as well. We've got a lot of allies.
Well, I'm not assuming that the threat from the Mind Flayers is permanently done. So yes, they'll come back stronger and better, but we can prepare ourselves around that too.
Right.
Because we're always getting stronger and better.
We are. Asses get kicked by us.
I mean, I'm quite happy. We did a great job. Everyone did a great job. I think we're good to move forward. Let's carry on.
I like it. I agree. Let's keep going.
And how was that for everybody? Did y'all like those stations? Did y'all want to change your stations? You're all good?
Well, I was good.
Pardon?
That's fine.
I was good.
Okay. I'm just making sure that everybody feels comfortable where they're at, and if we need to make
Well,
any...
we also kind of declared where we were going too, so.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, like, realistically, unless we get an NPC to do so, I'm the helms person, the primary helms person, which is perfectly fine, actually.
One of the
And
problems...
I can always be a backup as well because I have a fairly decent spell set.
A little RPG shop talk. One of the problems I see with a lot of RPGs that do like ships or mechs or those kinds of things is you're kind of stuck doing the same thing every round, and there's not a lot of like interesting play that can happen. So it can get very boring and rote. Like every turn I fix the ship, every turn I fire that one gun that I'm manning, and there's not like, oh, I take cover behind the thing of crates, and then I lay down covering fire for my friend. And there's not a lot of that kind of cool interaction that's happening when we play like man to man. You know what I mean?
I agree, and like that would have been a good opportunity for, like, if you had said, "Hey, Dell, get us in closer so that we can send some boarding people over." I would have absolutely done that, and then we could have gotten into that kind of combat. But this particular one is wiser to do as much damage from a distance first.
It is wiser. It is. But this is one of the reasons I was like, we should get a boarding ramp. So we could have that kind of play instead of this kind of play.
I don't want to take on a whole ship full of mind flayers, mano a mano, though.
I know.
It's not all mind flayers. They have other things to kill you with.
That said, it's something that a lot of games have tried to address, and I've never seen it work really well.
Yeah.
Either. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I know that that was taken in mind when I think it was Cesardrix created that Spelljammer supplement. He built it around giving the PCs things to do that actually made it, more unique, more whatever, during ship combats. But at the same point, that's why the actual Spelljammer supplement for 5e basically says, screw ship to ship combat, get in close and just go straight to boarding. So I can see both sides for sure.
Every Star Wars game has tried, but it ends up being, if you want to do something special, you get these special abilities, and those special abilities take up valuable slots of special abilities that you would otherwise use to make your character better in person-to-person combat. So it's like a really sad trade-off that you have to make, and no one wants to spend their stuff in space combat because we all know that space combat is not where you get stuff done. It's the transitory period between things where you get stuff done.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't, honestly, that doesn't matter if it's space or if it's on the ocean or whatever. It's or the crew of a vehicle, and the vehicle itself, it kind of becomes the character for those things.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. If I had been playing a character on your ship, and we were within 90 feet, I would have been looking for a way to cross the 90 feet to go engage. But I am not playing the NPCs to be the star of your show. Or otherwise, the Battle Rage would have been like, I can swim it. I'm ready.
This, what we were saying, Howard, when you were gone, is that space combat or mech combat or vehicle combat tends to have this thing where you're doing the same thing every round without the...
Yeah, I heard that. That's why I'm saying what I just said.
Yeah. But I don't know how to fix that. And I would love to create a system where people are able to be really creative.
An idea.
Be really creative.
I have an idea for a fix. I mean, still tangenting and not going back to the game, but I can tell you my idea real quick.
I'd love to.
Like, because you mentioned Star Wars specifically. In a game where space combat is just, and works for Spelljammer too, is just as common as inter-person combat and regular scenarios, I would almost have it set up like a separate sheet. Like, all right, space combat, pull out your other sheet. What does your character do in space? Like, when you think about like the original Star Wars and the prequel movies, think about Anakin, for example. In space is an ace pilot. That has nothing to do with anything he does outside of piloting. When he is on a planet, all of his force powers have nothing to do with piloting. None of his abilities. I would just give you a completely different sheet and be like, now make your pilot self. Make your space combat self. What are you doing during space? Are you the medic during space combat? Are you the one like grabbing people and pulling aside? Are you the guy trying to make the hyperdrive work, or the whatever warp engine, whatever makes stuff work during combat to keep the ship
give it her. She's all she's got, Captain.
Yeah, that guy. Exactly. Tinker. Exactly. Give you something to do during combat in space, give you like a new role and a new sheet. And then when you're not in space, you have your other character, which will be related to that first character, but it'll be different so that you have other things you can do. It would be like having two character sheets.
And I'm pretty sure that I could do a more tactical thing, like probably get more speed out of the ship, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are things I would allow if y'all ever tried it.
If the captain and the pilot ever need to communicate any of that, that's totally something that I could help.
We need more power.
Exactly. I mean, she's just having fun
crystals
blowing
do
up
a
with a
thing,
cannon.
sure.
It's a cannon. It's fun.
That is also my GM style, that I am totally about, whatever sounds the coolest, let's do that. I even, for example, I'm willing to swallow my own ego and go, Brenna's idea was better. This is an ink bank.
Oh. And
I'll be honest, when I was younger, I would not have been able to swallow my ego and just say, yeah, that's cool. I wish I had thought of that. I've gotten older. I'm better at that now.
To be honest, Tinker right now is probably having a lot of fun because of the other artificer who's an artillerist. And so she's probably learning a lot from her as she's going.
Oh, so yeah.
She's a little distracted by new shiny things that go boom.
I like that NPC that I wrote up, and I can say her name as soon as I see it. When I'm not looking at her name, I'm like, I don't know. Vazia. That is it.
I've got to come up with like a nickname for her, otherwise I'll never remember.
Whatever you'd like to call Vazia Menindel, that's fine. I cannot say
Vazia.
I'm not.
Vazia. What does she look like?
Vazia
No. What does she look like and do again?
She has her right hand and her right eye are cyborg, basically.
That's right.
Otherwise, she's a very attractive elf woman,
right?
Except for the obvious disfigurements that would make her hideous amongst elves, because disfigurements.
Tink, or I'm sorry, Brenna. Her name is now Lefty.
Lefty.
Because you're a dick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's Lefty. Oh yeah, Lefty.
it's like those horrible jokes where you call a guy with no arms, no legs laying in front of your door. Matt. What do you call a guy with no arms, no legs in the water? Bob. What do you call a woman with no right eye, and no right hand? Lefty.
I'm just saying, like, it's a name, and it also refers to, like, we understand exactly who she is and what she looks like instantly, and it's not meant to be derogatory.
No, it's totally meant to be mean when you say it in character.
No, it's not.
There's no
I mean,
way
you could
your
also
character
call her
doesn't
Boomer.
realize that that's mean.
What
She's
if
the
she's
colorist.
introduced
Call her
herself
Boomer.
as Lefty?
Oh, I take it back. Does anyone here have a negative bonus to their wisdom? Because they might not know that
Yes.
they're being a dick.
Who
Well,
has
then
a
you're the
negative
one,
one?
actually. I might be like, hey, Lefty, holy crap, why does she hate me? I don't understand.
Oh my god.
I know people like that in real life.
Yeah. I do too, which is why I'm going, oh dear God, I am that character.
I've had that happen when I was working once, and there was a coworker I had I was working in a home for children that had gone through some stuff. It was an adolescent treatment center, and there was a guy that the kids picked on and called names. And one of my coworkers started calling my coworker the same name the kids did. And I would watch the guy kind of shut down and get quiet and walk away. And I was like, dude, why are you bullying, this man? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you are insulting him. He's like, no, that's his name. He likes it. And I'm assuming that is a negative wisdom right there. That's a negative understanding of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I swear it's willful.
And I'm really glad that in that particular moment, it wasn't me being the one that was making the negative.
Yeah.
I know that I've had those moments where I was so tactless. I have hurt people's feelings, and I figured it out months later. And went, oh my God.
Yep.
They
Yep.
thought,
Well,
what?
Sometimes you knew then, you just didn't care because you thought it was funny.
Well, I mean, if it's funny. I'm not perfect. I'm close.
Nobody's perfect.
Really close to perfect. So anyway, your mind flayers got away.
Then we continue to our destination.
All right. Is there anything else y'all want to do before back into the astral space whatnots?
I mean, check out the debris. Is there anything special about it? Is there like gold pieces? Investigation.
As you swim out in front of your ship and check out this debris.
Yeah.
Or use a telescope. I don't care.
We have a lookout. Ask that guy, but
you want to have one of the lookouts do it? I
Yeah.
mean, right click is one of your lookouts.
yeah, right.
Braille
click.
Dog used to be, but Braille Dog turned out to be a changeling trying to kill you all. Well, just
I'll check it out and I'll tell right click to check out the debris and see if there's anything special in it.
All right. Do you want advantage or do you want him to roll?
I'll have him roll. He can roll.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me look him up. Oh, I have to look at his character? God damn.
You asked.
I did. I assumed you'd want advantage. Oh, it's investigation. So there we go. All right, you rolled a 15. He rolled an 18. As y'all investigate the debris that was left behind, I mean, there's plenty of shell bits from the nautiloid, some fleshy bits, which are gross. I mean, there's not a lot that's really like, aha, this proves that it was actually, Old Man Withers who ran the carnival the whole time. I mean, there's no like Scooby moment there. But as you investigate the debris, I will say that you don't find anything that gives you any clue as to like what their ultimate goals are. There's nothing in their debris that's going to be like, haha, this is what they wanted the whole time. But you do find
our evil plan.
Right, yeah, nothing
Secret.
like that. But you do find a grapple weapon that is used on the Nautiloid. Is fleshy and kind of gross, but that will allow, if you attach it to your ship and use it appropriately, to like grapple a ship that is within 100 feet.
Nope.
If
Not
it's
natural.
smaller than you can pull the ship towards you. If it's bigger than you can pull yourself towards the ship. Same size, I don't know, equal pullage.
I mean, is there really a difference there if we're in space and nothing else is around us? Like in a vacuum, us moving towards them and them moving towards us is the same.
Yes, there
the
is
same
a difference if there's a third point that matters.
If there's a
If
third
there's
point that
another
matters,
thing
yes.
that you're trying to reach and they're closer and you pull them towards you, that makes a difference.
If there's a third thing in the way, that does matter. You're right.
So yes, there is a difference. It might not matter. It's circumstantial, but yeah, there is a difference.
I'll buy that for
You
$1.
find
Bring it
that
aboard.
grappling device, which is shell-shaped, and it was clearly dislodged from their thing.
Yeah.
It gives you 100 foot of grabby distance. Y'all write that down somewhere. I don't care where.
Keith, are you taking care of the ship stuff like that?
I don't have my
Oh,
notepad with me right now.
I don't have a ship sheet or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't have my notepad with me tonight. Sorry.
All right, I'll add to my notes. I will send it to. I'll put it in the Discord later, and y'all can make a note of
Yeah.
Keith is fired.
it. Yep,
I'm
you're fired,
sorry.
Keith. Goodbye. Go find someone to replace you.
I'm
Like
sorry.
the idea that not only do we fire you, but we make you find your replacement.
Oh,
All right, and it is 100 foot of range, or whatever measurement Canadians used. You can figure it out. I don't know.
Being Canadians, we think in both SAE and metric.
Well, then,
except for me, I can't think in either.
That would be me if I moved to Canada. I'd be like, no, I'm just confused. I don't know.
It's just like that going, that
I don't
looks like
remember
about
what
5
was-
couches away.
Yes, Americans will use any measurement system that, to avoid metric.
Yeah, fair.
3 washing machines.
I don't think that she
As a
counts as
measurement of
American
the
anymore.
sinkhole.
She left us. She has disowned us, and so we disown her back. Unless she can help us be Canadian, then I'm down. All right. So you got your range grapple, but like I said, there's no real clues that you can pick up from the debris, but I'll give you that. Beyond that, y'all go back into the astral sea and begin piloting towards your goal.
Excellent.
As you begin traveling, you see it's up to Dell if he or Keith Dell, the player of the character. If you'd like to insert anything, you will see the astral sea, an endless silver surface beneath you, reflecting upon you thoughts. And as the person that is manning your spelljamming helm, his stray thoughts are like off to the left and right of the ship. Perhaps, scenes from his previous work experience in the Astral Navy or whatever else he feels should be there, in addition to where he imagines he's going, which is the edge of negative space in the Shadow Realm. Specific coordinates that were given to you by Zerathar, the beholder that you are working for. As well as any random thoughts you might have about beholders, Lithid, anything else that's going on. It's like,
Well, since this is a Silver Surface, I can't help but think about Nora and Rad.
The Silver Surfer is just like there, like surfing on just a chrome guy on a surfboard, looking like a hood ornament. Because that's what he looks like, as a hood ornament, to be honest.
You're not wrong.
That or a surfing trophy, but it's second place because he's silver.
Yeah.
Do you think the Silver Surfer polishes himself, or is it just like a natural ability of him to just be?
He was very charismatic. There are lots of ladies that are polishing.
I'll bet you there's
Surfer.
Rule 34 of that.
Galactus does it for him.
Oh,
That's
I
messed
think
up.
he polishes Galactus. I think you have the order wrong.
Yeah, that seems more likely.
Galactus does.
Appropriate.
I mean, Galactus has a son and a daughter now, so.
So he's
I
no
believe
longer
you,
the last
but I
of
have
his
not read
kids.
those.
Galactus's daughter is very like fan servicey, but Galactus's son is just like some guy. And he's like, I'm not Galactus's son. And everybody's like, you're going to destroy us all. And he's like, I'm going to my office job. I'm sorry. Which I like.
A giant purple helmet?
No, he looks just like a regular guy, but people are like, you're Galactus's son. And he's like, I would you like to buy a vacuum cleaner? Would you like to?
Yeah, I like that. I'm just Joe from HR, but he's got like the giant purple helmet.
He's got the giant thing. That's Galactus's daughter. Galactus's daughter is like, you know, a little pinup girl with the giant
Chip
hat
off the old
and
block.
stuff. Yeah.
But still driving a, you know, ridiculous mechanical tricycle through space eating planets.
No, she's like person size because it's fan servicey, you know, you gotta.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I haven't read those. Haven't read those at all. I don't think I've read anything about Galactus in like decades. Like the last thing I remember about Galactus was the time that Doom took away his ship and like took it over, because Doom is an unstoppable force of nature somehow, even though he's just
That's a long time ago, man.
Oh yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Now we have like in the current comics, we have Ultimate Doom, and he's like the ultimate form of Doom in the multiverse, and he commands all other Dooms. I don't know. It's gotten stupid.
That would be scarier than Kang, in my opinion, just because it's Doom.
There was also one of the multiversal Dooms is like Ego the Living Planet, but it's actually Doom the Living Planet. And I like that. I like that one.
All right. So you're rocking through space, and, you know, time passes. People eat their rations. You all do whatever you do on the ship to pass time, play poker, train, swab decks, attempt to fish for space fish.
Would
I don't know what
bomb
you do on a
people?
boat.
Space fish are delicious. Don't even.
Don't assume they don't exist, because they probably do.
It's canon, they do.
There is a flat fish thing that exists. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a psionic, horrible monster, but this looks like a flattened fish.
An obeolith.
What's that? No, not an aboleth.
An aboleth, right? That's what it is. Like aboleth? Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
not the aboleth. That's like a whale. There's like a small, flattened, psionic fish. And I forget what it's called. I don't know. I'll look it up and I'll share it with you later on the Discord.
But yeah,
yeah. So
I'm sure Spelljammer has like a space version of everything you find in the ocean. There's like space sirens and space kraken and space sharks.
Well, you gotta have your space whales.
Well, we have the space whales, the Kindori. So by extension, there are canonically all kinds of little space fish that people fish for.
I mean, my favorite space whale, there's been a lot of space whales in science fiction, but my favorite space whale is that dude from Lilo and Stitch.
I haven't seen that in so long.
He's a literal like orca person.
Yeah. I need to watch that movie again.
Anyway, time will pass. Um, there are moments while you're piloting the ship where you have like asteroid fields you have to go through, and but I mean, you are a competent pilot. I'm not going to make you roll every possible encounter just to see if I can like bring you down. Because I can put an infinite number of encounters in front of you till you die. But that's not the goal of the game. So
I'd say you're just clowning, but we already did that.
there will be clowning. Clowning will never end. You finally get to this place where the astral realm begins to have like a darkened quality to it. There's the occasional. There are, as you're traveling through the astral plane, there is weather. There are storms and such. Usually they're highly electric, lots of like white and blue lightning about when there is a storm. And even when everything is calm, there's a weird sense of serenity because everything in the astral plane is of the mind. So emotions swell bigger than they would normally on planets. So when you're in a serene area, everyone on the ship will feel the serenity. And when you're in an area that is tumultuous with storms raging, you feel your energy just building. But as you get closer and closer to your goal, you feel almost like the energy is draining from you. You feel things are like slowing. You feel sluggish as you awaken to go to do your duties. It's like there is almost a graying effect of the color around you. Like it's not like you're in a black and white film, but it's getting there. And there is like everyone's little annoying things they do. You've been on the ship with them now for a couple of weeks, and they are grating. These people are the worst. Everyone around you is pissing you off, and everything is just getting so negative as things go on. And it gets to a point where you see in front of you, you specifically, Del Starwind, where there is in front of you, there is almost a darkness that overshadows the silvery astral sea, to the point that you're not sure if the sea ends or if it's just too dark to see the rest of it. There are clouds. The lightning within the clouds is darkened almost. Like the idea of a black lightning makes no sense to you, but you see it like happening. Like there are flashes of lightning where the clouds get darker instead of lighter. And you're fairly certain you're getting close to where you were told to be.
All right. Well, I'm approaching cautiously, and letting our patron here know.
Excellent. So glad you have served me so well. You are all well paid for good reason. And you dealt well with those squiddy faces. I can't stand the elliptid. They're the worst, aren't they? Well, now that we're here, so much to do. Do you mind if I give the orders directly to your little minions, or would you like me to relay them through you? There's much equipment to be set up.
Captain.
I would like them to be relayed through us to delegate as appropriate.
What did he say? I can't understand him.
Oh, take your helmet off, damn it.
No, he can.
He's asking if he wants if we're okay with him telling our people what to do directly, or if he wants to relay the orders through us.
And I requested that they go through us.
Yeah. I think don't give him command of the ship. You can have him talk to you, and then use your judgment on the instruction.
And Tinker's probably curious anyways, and probably has some understanding of what's going on.
I was going to say Tinker should be the one to be that relay.
Yeah, that's kind of what she was assuming.
All
because
right.
she understands technical things too. So
All
It'd be
right.
like something doesn't smell right here. She'd be probably the first to know.
yeah.
Although that is a wisdom check. Fuck. But
I say I
Um,
keep my
I
voice
will
low and
give
go.
you this.
You know,
If you can,
It
if
is a
you go
beholder.
through all of the existing equipment and how it's being set up and try to analyze what its purpose is through investigation, because you are knowledgeable in mechanics, you might
Okay.
be able to bypass wisdom checking what's going on.
dirty 20.
Oh, hey, look at that. All right, with a 20. And also you are skilled at Arcana, so I'll just throw in some arcane knowledge as well. He wants to, with the way that this equipment is being set up, it looks like his goal is to harness energy from, you are, by the way, entering the edge away from the astral plane into the ethereal plane, which is the bridge into the elemental planes, and you're at the very, if it were a globe, which it's not, but if it were, you'd be at the south end at the negative plane. So essentially he looks like he's trying to harness negative energy, which is funny because you had a thing which you left, I think, in a warehouse back on Brawl that could have directly accessed it.
But we don't want to tell him that.
No, don't tell him. That'd be weird. Why bring that up?
I mean,
But yeah, because you have studied that device and you look at what he's doing, there is a remarkable lot of similarity happening between that device, which could teleport people into the negative plane, and these devices, which are harnessing energy from the negative plane. In everything from their alignment, their setup, the runes carved in them for different arcane purposes. It's remarkable how similar they are. It almost as if they were connected. Because you got a dirty 20, you feel like it's to that point. You're like, did he have something to do with the last thing? Just because there are too many similarities here, especially this rune, which looked like it was drawn by the same dude. You don't know who drew it because he doesn't have hands. Somebody drew this rune. It's the same rune. But yeah, he's trying to harness power from the negative energy plane. But he explained to y'all that his experiment was all about drawing an infinite amount of energy from elsewhere to create an infinite amount of arcane energy so that everyone could be super, so no one could ever be better than anyone else, which would create a weird, like, utopian society because everyone's super powerful. No one would have need anymore, and they could all just create things.
But if draining energy from another plane would basically be completely obliterating that other plane, wouldn't it?
Well, here's the question is, are the elemental planes infinite? If they are, then it doesn't matter. And that is a weird, like, philosophical question.
Yeah, that's
probably
exactly where I was going with that in my
answer
head.
to. But if Tinker wants to assume one way or the other, that's up to you.
Tinker's having a little bit of an existential crisis.
Also, there's
Contemplating that
another
question.
issue. He has found a way to harness energy from a plane, but specifically from the negative energy plane. The shadow.
Doesn't necessarily
plane.
mean that it's right, because I mean
it's
probably there
energy
for a reason. Like, we have the positive energy plane and stuff. So
yeah, that's the Fey plane. I mean, it's energy. It's negative, but it is arcane, and it does still, like if you focus it properly and throw a lightning bolt, it does the same damage as a regular lightning bolt with a weird light. The bolt might be black, but it'll still work.
It's
But she's
necrotic
also
damage instead of electrical
she's looking
damage.
at it as like the equivalent of basically the same as the Fey realm. Like if somebody did that to the Fey realm, is what she's seeing it as.
Think
And the
about
bolt
this.
might like smell like pine forests and be like a happy greenish white, but
Think about this.
but it would still work.
Well, I think the concern is that we're siphoning energy away from the plane. So if we were doing
like
this
environmental damage,
yeah, environmental damage to the negative plane, which I'm all for. I mean, it's full of death and undead. It's the stuff that powers undead things. So if we're taking energy from it, there's less energy then to like make vampires walk around. So this is a net positive to me.
And really, if you use that energy to kill people, then you're just throwing them back into the negative plane, which just gives you more energy.
If we can use negative energy to like cook our food and like power spelljammers or whatever, and there's no ill side effect from that, except for the negative energy plane is having environmental damage. Oh no!
Will that
hey, Captain Beetlejuice? I thank you for making me the sandwich, but it tastes like death.
I'm just saying there are consequences that we can't possibly foresee because all of the planes are interconnected on some level. And so if you affect one, how is it going to affect all the others is what I'm saying.
No, I don't see that at all, actually. It's
I mean, you're only draining the death plane, so logically that makes everything better.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay. What kind of gods do you align yourself to? Like for me, I align myself with gods of the neutral good persuasion. What kind of gods do you align yourself with?
Agnostic.
So you just neutral. You're a neutral person.
Yes.
Okay.
When it comes to worship.
No. What is your alignment? What do you align yourself with?
Meta.
Now she's definitely having an
what gods do you align yourself with?
Because she's never actually
This is your alignment.
About this.
She's literally having an existential crisis.
You see, let's say you align yourself with chaotic good. And thus,
I'm looking. I cannot remember.
And thus, the gods of the chaotic good you support, and they live in a plane of chaotic goodness, right? So if your gods made more chaotic good stuff, like there's a war in the outer planes where evil gods and good gods and law gods and chaos gods are all fighting each other. So you would have no problem with the good chaotic good gods rolling on in to the lawful evil domain and getting rid of that, right? Because they're bad. It's against your alignment. I'm just saying. Getting rid of the negative energy plane seems like a good idea. I'm not being meta. This is how Dungeons and Dragons actually works.
No,
alignment is not personality.
From a philosophical, are you
in game or just chatting?
Like, what does it mean?
Or in game.
What does life mean versus intelligent beings versus how is the cosmos constructed? And it's constructed in ways that we don't yet fully understand.
The gods created it. The gods created the cosmos. They're gods, and they created you and me and everything.
Oh my god. I can't.
Yes. Oh my god is the right answer.
Yes. She's like, I'm talking to a brick wall here.
I'm giving you the correct answer. There's a legit answer to all this. There's 100%. This is how the universe works.
Yes, but just knowing that the gods created the universe doesn't tell us how the universe works.
That's true. Knowing how that mechanics built cars doesn't tell us how to work cars.
I mean, if you want to get really philosophical, we're going to move away from my character Beetlejuice and Corey speaking. If you're saying, well, what's the meaning of life? And you're like, well, God created us, so therefore the meaning of life. And it's like, oh, so our creator gives us meaning. God doesn't have a creator, does he? So God doesn't have a meaning? Does that mean, like, what is the meaning of God?
Oh,
And we've just elevated the meaning one step up is all we did.
yeah.
And you can go on that. And I see that as a mind blow, a mind mess with kind of thing. But
well, especially because Tinker has, just a wisdom of 8. So she's not used to thinking about these sort of things. And she's kind of having like a...
Yeah. Well, as wisdom 8, you should be very satisfied with my explanation. I gave you the explanation.
Which is why she's like, I can see some of what you're saying, but she's also the curious mind at work.
Yeah.
As part of it.
Well, here's the thing. This guy, old Golden Legs over here, is gonna do something to the planes. And then we're gonna see what happens. And then we can make judgments based on that now, can't we?
Now you're thinking scientifically.
I thank you. I think we've reached the end of that conversation.
Yep. I was just
Right.
catching up with the latest in the chat.
So your mooks go out and begin to set up the equipment as instructed with Tinker supervising. She is able to surmise an idea of what this is for, and I assume relates it to all of y'all since you all had that in-depth conversation.
Obviously, if anything looks seriously unsafe as well, rather than
I will say this:
various things, but safety concerns as well.
I will say this, but it has to go through the filter of Tinker. In my opinion, harnessing infinite energy from this plane to find a way to filter it back to all the other prime material planes is completely unsafe, but would be amazing. How does Tinker relate that?
Tinker focuses on the positive aspects of this and is kind of like, yeah, I mean, come on, we've all been to the negative energy plane. It's
super gross.
Yeah. It was super gross. It was very
I don't
bad.
need this kind of negativity.
We almost didn't make it. And we're wanting to go back into that, sort of. But think about all of the possible applications, but at the same time, and then she starts devolving back into her existential crisis again.
So essentially, Zarathar's argument that what he's doing is going to make a utopia where everyone's magically empowered to be amazing doesn't sound all that bad.
Oh, she thinks that part's complete and utter bullshit, but... Because it's the replicator issue, is that you have to have the egalitarian society before you have the replicator, because if it was the other way around, nobody would have the replicator and yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So that is what is happening. Your mooks begin setting stuff up. Everything seems normal. And then what are y'all doing while all these experiments are going on and things are being prepped? What are the named characters, i.e. you guys, and if you would like to give any additional orders to the other named crew, what are y'all doing? If you don't give orders to the other named crew, then I decide randomly that I know for a fact that a couple of them will be drinking their butts off.
Okay, as long as they're not on duty anytime soon.
Yeah, if they're not on duty or not, at least two of them are drinking. Unless you tell them otherwise.
I mean, shipboard duties are still a thing, so people still need to be able to do their jobs.
Their chores, duty roster, whatever.
The way
Yeah.
I'm running it,
Like
for
even
those,
if
for those NPCs which would be alcoholics, if you don't give them specific instructions, they're going to be drinking. They'll still do their duties drunkenly.
Tinker would
well, that's just an
probably
easy way.
tell them
Um,
explicitly, having anticipated that, possibly. Because this isn't the first ship she's worked on.
I mean, it's been proven over the centuries that up to a certain point, they're perfectly capable of doing their jobs while drunk. So, you know, as long as we stop them before they get to the point of actual danger, whatever. It's a historical fact with the Navy or any military, really. But even if we're effectively at anchor watch, we're or anchored or whatever while we're doing this, the crew still have crew duties to be doing. So they'll be doing those things, and off watch crew can help out with experiments as needed. Again, supervised by Tinker, and that's the way I see it. What do you think, Captain?
Well, we're making sure that everybody does their job except right click. What is right click doing?
Right click is not an alcoholic of any form. He is when he is not on duty, other than sleeping, he is meticulously cleaning weapons. He's actually very meticulous, almost I would say monk-like, not Monk the class, but Monk the USA Network character. Yeah, Tony Shalhoub, the guy who's just like OCD about cleaning, and he is very responsible. His area is clean, everything around him is clean. He is a very clean fellow. Well, giant praying mantis person, as he's a Thri-Kreen.
My concern is that we're at the edge of space. We're doing something to the negative material plane, which is a very dangerous place with lots of dangers in it. And we ticked off, we've made several enemies. So I just want to make sure that we have a lookout while all of these experiments are happening. Even if I have to take one of those lookout shifts, I want to make sure that we have shifts of lookout while this experiment is being set up and while it is being undertaken.
That's definitely one of the duty watch things for sure. I agree.
So what I'm asking you, Howard,
all right,
is how many shifts will I have to be putting up? Or if not, I'll just make 4 2-hour watch shifts and assign people to those 2-hour watch shifts.
I mean, if you want to use 2-hour watches to kind of oversee everything that's happening,
Tink's got that covered. I want them to watch the astral sea to make sure that there aren't, demons pouring out of the negative plane and attacking us for taking their precious energy.
So you're talking about watching for external threats, not so much the internal, what's going on with the experiment.
Exactly.
All right. I'm fine with that. Give me a quick roster of who you're going to make do that, because I assume that somebody's watching the experiment as well. I know Tinker probably
So
is.
if you're doing 2-hour watches, have 4 guys rotate.
Yep. So I'll take
They can be red shirts.
yeah, I'll take one of those watches though, because I got a pretty good perception. So I'll
Well,
take.
you have 10 red shirts. So if you're doing 4-hour rotates, that's 4 of, or you could do 3 of them and 1 of y'all, or
Yeah.
But also remember that you also have right click and hang on, what's her name?
So
I'll
Lefty.
find it.
Lefty.
Yeah, Vasia Menedel or Lefty.
Vasky. Vasky. Lefty. Vasky.
And Nomus and Heskis and Sano and Quijos.
Nomus and Heskis, I want them to.
Oh, and Galdar, the battle raging dwarf.
Okay. Nomus and Heskis can monitor the ship and make sure that this beholder is not like
Tapping
using
into the
our
system.
systems in any way, shape, or form here.
Okay, cool. I'll make a note of that.
He's got his equipment. He's using his equipment. So if he's tapping into us, that might be a problem. So they should monitor that. But me and Lefty, no, me and Right Click, and me and Val, and Val and 1 red shirt, and we will rotate those around. Every 2 hours.
I always hear it as right click.
That's exactly the joke of his name.
Okay, apparently I'm really slow. Shut up.
I'm glad you got it, honestly. I was afraid no one was listening to me. So we're good.
Oh, I got it long ago, but I just let it slide because it was appropriate.
Funny? All right.
No, it was funny. It was just best to leave it out there.
I pulled down the drop down menu.
Okay, and then there's me who fails their wisdom check.
Yeah, I pulled down the drop down menu and clicked ignore.
That's what I was assuming was happening from everyone.
But yeah, there you go. 4 shifts. That rotate every 6 hours.
Sounds good. All right. Let me make a quick roll. Guess I'm just going to decide who does what on what shift. I realized I made the roll and I didn't actually designate things, so I'm going to redo the roll and think about it first. All right. Yeah, great. Hang on. D20 plus. Wow. Dell.
Hello.
Right click. Like comes over to you and is like, hey, not to bother you, but the captain doesn't listen to me. So you should know, you hear all this in your mind. I feel like some of our people are being used weirdly. This is like a couple days into the work, by the way.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. I don't have a lot of arcane knowledge. It's not my field of expertise. But they keep the way they keep expanding the equipment radius and like spreading it out at Zarathar's commands. But there is I can't help but notice that they're acting different. Like I don't know if it's because of his mental control because he is the beholder. I don't want to sound like I'm assuming because of his race. Or if it's because of this place that makes everyone feel like there's no point to living. But they're starting to act kind of weird. Like Nomus and Hesketh used to act before y'all fixed them.
Oh, damn it.
Can I do an insight check on like the crew, kind of get a feel for what he's describing? See if I notice it.
Sure. I mean, like, yeah, you could go over and interact with them and
Vibe check.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it basically a vibe check. Overlooking the situation.
Sure. You go and you kind of interview the crew and just, kind of chill with them for a sec, just like try and make some conversation. And they do seem to have, with a 16, I'll say they do seem to have a disinterest, not like to the point of being like rude. Like it's not like they're trying to actively get away from you, like they hate you or anything. It's not rude, just sort of they don't have the energy level to interact with you. They're just like, whatever, dude. And they're kind of placid about everything. You ask them how the meal was and they don't really know. They can't describe the flavor of a sandwich. And it seems it's getting to the point you're like, am I talking to morons? What is going on with this crew?
All right. So once I've gotten that kind of an impression, hey, Captain.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm not sure if it's the place or the beholder or what exactly, but this place is really harsh on our crew here, and they're basically turning into
soulless zombies.
They're almost like they're almost zombie-like in their level of disinterest. Their level of apathy of everything is just there's a definite issue going on here. Not sure if you might want to remove your cap and have a word with the beholder.
All right. I pull my cap off, unfortunately. Don't like this. Walk up to him.
You've enjoyed this immunity for so long.
Hey, what's his name again?
Zerathar.
Zerathar. Let's say Xanathar, but that was not right. Excuse me, Zerathar. We're having some issues.
Zerathrax. Sorry, found it.
We're having some issues. So, we've had some experience with the negative material plane. And it can have an adverse effect on people. And it is happening right now. So either you cannot contain this energy like you think you can. In which case we need to shut it down.
Or the vicinity of space.
Or it's something that's happening with the space around here, which means we have to move farther out.
Interesting. Well, it's great to finally talk to you. Well, what would you have me do? Explain to me what's going on. What is wrong with your people?
I just told you. You either need to make sure that your equipment isn't leaking negative plane energy into my people, or we need to move farther out. Because it's either the area that we're in that's doing it, or it's your equipment siphoning that energy out and leaking it into my ship.
My equipment does not leak. But if your people can't handle the energy of this
No. It's not our fault for not handling this energy. This is an experiment that you're doing, and you're getting your whatever information you're getting. But if it becomes too dangerous, we cannot do it anymore.
But if you remember, the entire contract was that you would be able to withstand the experiment. You asked specifically about external threats, space clowns, and some other things. But I said, I need you to be able to withstand the experiment, the things that I am doing. So you're actually reneging. You're going to owe me a lot of gold.
No, you didn't explain this. What the dangers were.
I did say where we were going.
I don't remember this conversation at all. It's been months.
You need to watch our previous episode. Hey, viewers, we have previous episodes. I totally said the stuff. Not my fault. It's been a month. It's mostly Keith's. Yep, he's throwing his beard dandruff at me, I believe. That's what that means. I think it's a French thing for my beard dandruff to you. As a fellow bearded individual, I feel I can say that.
You might say that you got my dander up.
You didn't say. You didn't say that we had to withstand anything. You said you were going to do an experiment. That is what you said. That was the deal we had. You were going to do an experiment. Your experiment is done. Unless you can fix this problem right now. So you fix it, or we're done. Because apparently you know what's happening. Don't you? You know what's happening.
Do you know where we are?
We're at this nexus of the planes around here. There's the ethereal plane, the negative plane, yada, yada. Yeah.
Yes, the Shadowfell. All necrotic injury, all of the death energy, all of that which was going to waste. I am recycling it and pulling it up and making it useful again. But it is currently in a state of negativity. This is why everything around here seems, I'm sure you'll notice, even though you don't have as many eyes as I do, that how dark it is and how gray. But it is, in fact, gray. I am going to harness the energy and give it back to everyone and re-empower them. And I have explained this already. I'm explaining again to you.
Oh, I got that part.
Incredibly for this. And you, I assume...
I got...
this.
You explained that part perfectly.
Yes.
The part you didn't explain, yet the part that you have... You fail to mention over and over, or maybe you didn't realize it because you're not as smart as you think you are, is that
my brain is larger than your body.
Is that apparently humanoids, their bodies' minds will degrade when being near the negative energy.
Sadly, I am aware of your weaknesses. I am trying to gather energy to empower all of you to be better. But there will be some that must sacrifice. And you have signed up for this for wealth that I am providing. Did you think you were signing up for this for nothing? That I was paying you just to be a ride?
So
I gave you 5,000 gold a piece, or I don't remember how much. I have to look back.
Hold on.
I gave you a lot of gold.
Hold on. let me get this straight. You were going to give us gold to die, and then you just take your gold back.
Gold in advance.
So all we're going to do here is die for your experiment.
No, you should not die. No one is dying. Who has died?
Well, huh?
Who has died?
It seems like everybody around here is having the
sucking
death.
the life out
Alive!
of
You are
everyone.
alive. You are
No, they're
talking.
animated.
I hear your horrible voice. You're alive. You can't talk in my mind as it should be. Your flapping lips. No.
I put my skull cap back on and shut this guy up.
Tinker drops a glitter bomb on him. Right in his eye.
On the beholder?
Yep.
Bloop.
Cool.
She like drops down out of a vent. Bloop. Goes
Roll
back
the
in the
beholder. Sure, why not? Dex based?
Stealth attack? What?
I didn't see your roll come through.
I was asking, are we talking like stealth or attack or?
He's not expecting it, but I'm not giving you advantage or anything unless you have a reason to have advantage.
Because I'm like, I don't necessarily know what attack it would be with the glitter ball.
Just a basic
You
ranged
can,
attack.
if you're going to damage him, I'd say you're throwing it with like strength. If you just want to spread glitter on him, you can go with Dex. Your choice.
Oh, I was just going to spread glitter on him. If it gets in his eyes, so much the better.
All right, make a Dex roll.
22.
All right. Ah.
Wait,
Berries!
stalk around. While he is distracted, I look over at Keith and give him a look like, not Keith, but Del. I look over at Del Starwin. Beetlejuice looks at Del Starwin. And I'm giving you a look like, and I pat my whip and I look at him and I.
So I'm going to head
Eudora's
towards
gonna look all excited and pull out her bone sheath. Hopefully. Okay. I'm gonna try to attack him from behind then.
Oh, cool! Let's go! Let's do this!
He just gave me the
He
go.
literally said that we are a sacrifice. He said that. I'm done with this.
Oh
The captain said I could kill somebody, so
Okay. This is happening.
Howard, we should stop here. It's our third hour.
Oh, we got like 7 more minutes, sir.
7
go
more
ahead and roll
minutes
some
for a
initiative.
full combat. Yeah.
Roll some initiatives.
Oh no, roll your initiative. You're attacking the beholder. I want to see this start.
somebody could
God.
die horribly in the next 7 minutes.
Oh yeah, we're doing this. Dude is using our crew as sacrifices. That's not cool. I don't like that.
No.
And if we don't do what he says, he's going to like take our ship and everything. No. This guy goes
can
down
actually
now,
pull
and we're
back
going to get to
but
port
okay,
and say,
sure, why not?
oh yeah, he was infused with negative energy and went crazy and we had to kill him.
Ooh,
Okay, but
clever.
if I'm sneak attacking from behind, I feel like that
Thanks.
should be like a surprise round.
Thanks for the distraction, Tink. You did great.
Y'all thought I was insane when I had like 250 pounds of glitter.
Do we get any kind of surprise round, Howard?
Yeah, hang on just a sec. I'm getting your stuff down. Ramesh has a 15.
You are so loud.
Eudora
I'm
has a
sorry
10,
I'm loud.
Del's
I hope I'm not loud for
9,
everybody else.
Tinker. I see a dex save from Tinker.
Oh, that was my
That was your throwing your glitter?
it was the first dex thing I hovered over and went, sure, that
All
was
right, fine, cool. Go ahead and make your initiative roll because you're in this whether you want it to be or not.
We're all in this together now. Let's murder the guy.
Okay. I
Sir-
need to make a couple additional rolls. 1, 2.
Sarah, there's no such thing as a
just two
surprise
rolls.
round. It's now you have a surprise condition.
Oh, I'm thinking of old
Right.
rules again.
Like
aren't
right
I?
now, he's not expecting y'all to attack him, but he might because Tinker just threw glitter at him. So you don't really know what his mood is. But yeah, there's no surprise round anymore. That's not a thing anymore.
We're in the new D&D.
This is
Okay,
not
so
new
I'm
any.
gonna
This
roll
has
for
been
your
out for a
crew, which
long
is a
time.
4. Your crew sucks, just so you know. I rolled a 4 for your crew.
Well, we established they're in kind of a zombie fugue, so
That's
that makes
true.
sense.
But that's both. I'm doing mooks and named people at the same time. I could separate if you'd prefer. Do you want me to separate them?
I'd do it as 2 rolls. 1 roll for the mooks, 1 roll
Alright.
for the
All
names.
right. So the crew goes at 4. The named folks will go at 7.
You
So
see?
much better. Way better. All right. I still need to roll for one more fellow. You've met him. He's not neither crew nor named crew.
I don't know if it's the big Q. He should probably be shuffled off the ship at some point.
I gotta look up his stat block real quick. Where is his stat block? Man, I'm like I pulled up so much unnecessary information. Would you like to know that I could roll his body diameter, skin color, skin texture, eye color, iris shape, eye size? I just want his stupid stat block,
I like.
Yeah, we
skin
don't
texture.
we don't care about any of that.
right?
What is his skin texture? I lick him. Please roll randomly on what he tastes like.
Kind of rubbery.
It tastes like chicken.
It's kind of like licking a pickle. There's a little bumpy.
You have
Kinda
to roll
unnecessarily
randomly. We got a lot of
vinegar.
suggestions. Roll a d6 and count.
Oh my god.
Armor class, hit points, speed, blah blah blah, saving throw skills, condition immunities, languages, challenge rating, blah blah, any magic cone, bite, eye rates. Where is his initiative? I guess it's based off his dex, which can't be that high. Oh wait, he has a different dex because of his body. Hang on, he has a weird dex. +3. Found it. I forgot I actually wrote that stuff down. So he goes on 14. Cool. All right. So Beetlejuice, you're gonna go first. But really, I guess Tinker threw stuff is what happened, right?
Yep.
And then after that, we get Eudora's action tells the named crew, the regular crew, then Beetlejuice, then it goes back to the Beholder. Because we're starting at Tink, because that's how surprise works. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue.
All right, cool. And so at 10:59, that's 1 minute to the end of the game. I have your initiative order. Y'all have decided to attack your employer as he explained once again what the point of the whole plot was. And y'all suddenly went, kill him, and decided to attack him. And we'll hope that works out for you next game. For anyone watching at home, if you watched all the way to the end, you might have liked it. And if so, you should probably click that like, subscribe button and maybe the bell thing so you know when this happens next week. I hope it happens next week because I enjoy doing it because these are my friends.
Well,
And
why do I have the feeling Howard's about to kill all our characters?
I mean, another game's not so bad. And after that, a whole new campaign. So beyond all that, if you've never heard of the Dead Unicorn, you somehow saw this, yeah, like, totally subscribe, like, etc. I'd be weird. I don't know how YouTube algorithms work, but the bald guy is Keith. The lady with dark hair is Brenna. The lady with reddish hair is Sarah. The dude who's not talking right now is Corey. And the guy with the hood,
And he's
that's
not
me.
bald.
And not bald, not talking guy is Corey. Right. And the guy with the hood is me, Howard. I'm Dungeon Master, and I just want to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a good day, night, whatever you're doing. Peace.